Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Kerbal Space Program. Where we last left off, we had landed on Minmus with Valentina Kerman. And now, after doing all of our science and all of the good stuff we can do on the moon, the second moon that is, it is time to try to get back. So let's go ahead and close the service bay. Retract the comms. And what we're aiming for here, is just a very, very easy to do, easy to do maneuver back home. So we have our apoapsis coming up. We only need to get probably. Why don't we do 7? Let's be safe. So we'll do 7. And what if we... So if we just keep burning... That'll give us a huge periapsis. Will we have enough fuel to lower it back down? I wonder. Let us see. Let us find out together. We should, in theory, be able to keep burning prograde. We probably don't even need this maneuver node. If we just keep burning prograde, and if we're high enough, which we should be at this point, we are, we can kind of tilt it over. And this should throw us out into an escape. Perfect. An escape trajectory back into Kerbin's SOI, or Sphere of Influence, for those unfamiliar. We still have a pretty good amount of fuel here. Clear my throat. Let's go ahead and speed up time until we get into the Sphere of Influence. Perfect. And as we all know, we'll create our maneuver node at our apoapsis even, and we will begin to bring it in. Oh. A little bit more. Perfect. Let us not time warp any longer, and essentially all we're going to be doing here is pointing our craft retrograde once we get to our maneuver node, which is at our apoapsis. So let us warp to there to save us a bit of time in the video. Yeah, slow down. And perhaps we get onto our node first. Perhaps that's what we do. That's not the right one. That is prograde. That would make our day really bad. We want retrograde. Perfect. And we can even accelerate a little. Oh, Let's get a bit closer. Perfect. And we'll begin our burn. We don't need a ton of fuel for this, thankfully. And that's bad. Okay. We are simply going to have to speed up some time. And why can I not create any maneuver nodes, I wonder? Okay, so we'll have to do this on the fly, by hand as it were. So we should be getting an encounter And by encounter, I mean a landing event. on to, where are you? There you are. On to Kerbin. We still have a lot of fuel, actually. That's a pretty good mission. It started off a little bit shaky. I was unsure that we would be making it home. At this point, I think it's safe. Maybe not. Let's wait. Let's wait until... Yeah, we're coming. We're coming in. Let us point retrograde. Ha ha ha. Okay, okay. Easy, easy. And he's jacked! This seems really familiar. So we should, okay, looks like we're coming down over the water. Let's speed up some time. Why are you framing on me? Okay, speed up some time. And we're just gonna keep pointed retrograde so that our ablator takes most of this heat. We may end up losing these solar panels. If that's the worst that, oh god. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Well, that's no good. Can we... I don't think there's any way for us to quick load back to that. So, what is this? What is this? Oh, this must be like a thing it wants us to do. So, we have to work on our return. Why are you framing so bad right now? Let's recover this. Recover, recover, recover. Recover. So I think what's happening is that we're coming in too hot, as it were. Essentially we need to kind of glide down. We're kind of just going straight towards the planet. So let's take a look at mission control. We did this, we landed on Minmus and we planted a flag. We still have contracts to plant a flag on the moon and take science data from the surface of the moon, as well as explore Duna. Let's take a look at what else they want us to do. Rendezvous two vessels in orbit of Kerbin, which I'd love to do if we had the parts. Position satellites. Position satellites. Position satellites. So our best bet, it's a really big bummer. We're gonna have to redo that, simply because we need that science. Why don't we take a look at our vehicle assembly building, and let's load up the Minmus Lander, which was the ship we used to get to Minmus. It's a good ship. It does everything it needs to do. Can we unlock any other science parts first? I'll do research and development. These should all be 90. They are great. Miniaturization we don't really need. Aerodynamics we don't really need. We're gonna need specialized construction. That's gonna give us the docking ports we need to rendezvous ships. I think for the time being, we do space exploration for 90, and that's going to give us a barometer that we can then use because we have to go to the moon proper, as it were. And what better way to do it than with science? So let's take our barometer and just kind of, for the sake of weight distribution, we'll just put them like so, and close her up. We probably don't need those solar panels, because we're gonna have this on most of the journey back. Yeah, I say we take these panels off. Anything that can explode must go. So let's take this ship to the moon. Let's save it. And who? Looks like we got Jebediah back, which is great. Fervin Kerman. So let's take Jeb. Do we want to do anything else? Before we launch, do we want... It's under pause. We have a lander cam. The hitchhiker's storage container. Ooh, it's a big part. I don't think we take that. Okay, so I think we're good. Let's go ahead and launch. And seeing as how we're just going to the moon, it should be an easier time, right? Right. Let's take a look at our contracts. Plant a flag on the moon, which we shall do. And gather science data from surface of the moon, which we shall do. And we need to do this... Get out of there. We need to do this anyways, because the last time, well, the first time we were on the moon, the first and last time, we did not get any of the... we didn't get a surface sample or anything like that, so it should still give us some pretty good science to get there. So without further ado, let us launch in 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. And I know I said I wanted to switch this engine out, and I still kind of do, honestly. It's a really powerful engine, but it's not very efficient. It's great for the lifter stage, not so much when you get to actual space, as it turns out. So we can probably start our turn over here. Too much turn. Okay, we'll just do a complete turn. And that. Throttle down. Throttle down. Okay, we're fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Stop it with the wobbling. This is not how you get into orbit. We're going through the thick parts of the atmosphere, and it's all going so terribly wrong. I think we try again. Revert to launch. It's an episode of disaster. Alright, SAS on, throttle up, and 3, 2, 1. Clear my throat. So, perhaps we don't tilt over as much. Maybe little baby steps. Oh, it's so wobbly. This should be better. Okay, just easy. Much better so far. Ooh, we're going through it now. Tilt over, just there. Perfect. Stay. And let us look Yeah, we're cruising. We're on fire. Drop! Perfect. And where are... Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, where are we at? 117, 162. We could probably bring that down. 115, 126. That seems good. That seems perfect. Okay, that's fine. We'll just go back to this view. And the other thing about this ship is that it is a monster to control when you're in space. Estimated burn 40 seconds, which means we will start once we are at T minus 20 seconds. And let's speed up some time and slow it back down. So we can actually start our burn right here, in all honesty. So why don't we? And we should have more than enough fuel for this orbital burn. It should not be an issue for us. We have an incredibly powerful rocket for this type of mission that we're doing. Down 114, 123, just about right. And thankfully the moon is quite a bit easier to get to, so we can set the moon as our target. Ooh, well, not a great spot to be in, but why don't we? Do we go for the moon? Yeah, we go for the moon because we have contracts for it. And it'll be easy science to unlock some parts for us as well. So periapsis of 273, that's pretty good. We should just be burning progrades, so we shouldn't need to move from here very much. A very, very short burn to get to the moon. Oh. Why are you moving? SAS, please. Let's take a look at our fuel. Our fuel is still doing pretty good. I guess we'll just get closer. There we go. Little fins moving. Useless in a vacuum. Alright, so we're pretty much on our maneuver node here. And let us go ahead and whoa, why are you doing that? So we can go ahead and start our burn here. That should take us all the way out. Maybe even slow it down just a bit. So we do have a moon encounter. Oh, that. Okay, let it. Where are we at here? Periapsis of 371. That's not awful. Let's go ahead and why don't we just time warp all the way out there? And can I set us? Thank you. Let's warp to here. So after the encounter itself. Perfect, and slow it down. And we want to bring our periapsis in at this point. 26. something like that, maybe a little bit more. Cool. Something like that should be just fine. So since we're going to be burning retrograde, it already tells us where our marker is going to be. Oh, it's slow going in this thing. This behemoth of a ship. Turn the lights on. Okay. So we have just a bit of fuel left here. We should have enough for the mission itself. Let's get onto our marker here. And we can actually start burning pretty much right now, because all we're trying to do here is just get into a very, very, very shallow orbit, a very small orbit, as it were. So let's go ahead and start our burn. So that's going to be our orbit. We can throttle it down. And that's going to be it for our mainstay. This is just going to be hanging out in lunar orbit. That's okay. Let's go ahead and activate all of our engines here. Perfect. And we're still pointing retrograde, so let's continue our burn. Too much? So we actually need to spin around and get just a little bit more. That'll be fine. So then we can actually, let's get rid of this maneuver node. And why don't we warp to here? Or wait. So we're coming around this way. So actually, how high up are we right now? 23? So we can actually just point retrograde at this point. Let's go ahead and put our legs down. And we're going to start prepping for our landing on the moon. Okay, so it's still shrinking, still shrinking. Still shrinking. You essentially just want to get it so that you're basically going to be coming straight down onto the moon here. So let's speed up time a bit. So landing on the moon is like the hardest part about Kerbal Space Program. Speed up the time a little bit more. Usually I would just be taking my time with this, but I know it's a video and I want to try to get as much done as possible here for you guys. So I'm playing a little bit riskier than I normally would. perfect. We can, so we're below 5,000. So much like the situation on Minmus, we're just going to be coming down. But since we're on the light side of the moon, we should be seeing a shadow. And once we see our shadow, we will know that we're getting close. And you just want to keep your speed to a minimum here if you can. I feel like I just saw a shadow. There it is. Okay. So we're just gonna glide in here very, very slowly. Perfect. All right. So on the moon once again. Let's observe the materials bay. We're just gonna get 21. That's fine. Can we get any goo? 9. That's fine. Log the temperature for no. Okay. Barometer? 48. There we are. Let's do crew report for nothing. Okay, perfect. And then we'll EVA out. We'll let go. Oh, Jeb, God dang you. Alright, so now at this point we can take a surface sample. It's going to give us 120. Can we do an EVA? We can. 32. And do we need to plant a flag? We do. Perfect! So we'll do moon landing part deux. Minmus was too hard. And let's get out of here. So we'll get back into the ship. Easy, 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 easy. There we go. Okay, board. Let's close all this stuff up. Just that one thing, I guess. And that's gonna do it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. It was a little bit disastrous, but with any luck, we'll be able to get Jeb here back to the surface in one piece without exploding in the atmosphere. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed, consider leaving a like. It does help quite a bit. And we'll see you next episode.